Greetings and welcome. Welcome. Just getting started on this summer solstice red tint. Hi, I see some people are here. Y'all please type in the comments if you can hear me. Yeah, I'm excited. Hey y'all, I want to make sure I can see the comments. And if I can't see the comments, I need to do what I need to do so I can see them. But I see Tati, Lawanda, Destiny, Erica, hi y'all, Yasmin. Greetings everyone. Wow, this is exciting. Hi Nikki. Let me make sure I can see the comments. I hope y'all are doing amazing today on this summer solstice. I always do this. I get on live and I can't see the comments. Greetings everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Wow. This means a lot. This really means a lot. Get emotional fast, so don't mind me. So, before I move on, I'm gonna get these comments going because I really want to see what everyone is saying. Let me just swipe. See if that'll work. Hi Kenyatta, hi Larissa, hi Anika. Y'all stick around with me for a little bit. I'm just trying to figure out the comments. Oh, it says I can write a comment. I see my own comment. So anyway, I'm going to keep it moving because I don't want to be here all day doing that. But I definitely want to interact with y'all. So give me just one moment. I'm so happy y'all are here. We didn't do our in-person sister circle this month. So this live right here is like, it's going to be our virtual sister circle. So welcome. It's such a potent and amazing time of the year. I know everybody has been feeling the shifts mentally, physically, and spiritually. I'm sure a lot of things have been being revealed to you all. So I would love to hear what's been going on in your world. What is coming up for you at this potent time of the year? And I'm going to double check these comments again while we're getting settled in, and we'll start with the meditation in just a moment. So I want to encourage everybody to also get comfortable, relax. Hi Lauren. Get comfortable, have some water, maybe have something to write with, your incense going, a candle. Candles will be very potent today because on this day we honor the sun. We honor the sun that gives us nourishment, that gives us light. So candle gazing today would be an amazing practice to tap into this solstice energy and to also help activate your third eye, your intuition. Just checking these comments, y'all. I don't see them yet. Thank you for your patience. And I know y'all are probably telling me how to do it in the comments, but I can't see it. So I wonder, thank y'all for hanging in there with me. Let me just check something really fast. The speech bubble icon. I've tapped it and it says I can write a comment. Now, if I, as audience members comment, they will appear in chronological order. But I don't see them. It's not a sister circle if we can't all talk. Well, let's see. Y'all are amazing for still being here as I figure this out. I appreciate you. I see stars. I see a poll. Invite. I see this comment button, but nothing is coming up my screen. I'm just swiping away. So it's already been 7 minutes, so I don't want to hold you all up. And so I'm going to see all the comments when I go back to rewatch it. Okay, Michelle said, what did Michelle say? She said log on 2 devices. Okay, I'll try that because I have my computer right here. And if I go into the group and I can watch myself, that would be interesting. In the group, let's see. Oh yeah. 17 comments and I don't see any. Okay, y'all. This is just a learning curve because I'm going to start going live every week. And I'm thinking it's going to be every Wednesday I'll start going live. So I see myself talking. And I wonder, can I fast forward? And I'm thinking it's going to be every Wednesday I'll start going live. It's a little delay. So I see myself talking. I'm going to mute that computer. All right, see? Peace, y'all. I see the comments. Thank you, Michelle. That was an awesome suggestion. All these comments. I'm going to go back. Destiny, Erica, Grand Rising, Michelle. Good morning, Nikki. Yasmin says she could hear me. Thank goodness. Lawanda, hi. Hey, sis. Hey, Kenyatta. Hey, Tati. Thank y'all for being here. Peace, Goddess. Blue. Thank y'all so much. So I'm going to try to keep up with the comments. So now that I've gotten that situated, welcome again. This is our Summer Solstice red tint. And before I go on and on about the meaning of today and the meaning of the red tint, I want everybody to relax. We're going to close our eyes. And we're going to just take a few deep breaths in to get us grounded. So we're going to inhale together. And then we're going to exhale. And we, in the sister circle, we make this sound. And that's going to help you relax your body. So we're going to do this a few more times. Inhale. Exhale. Making that sound is very important. So if you find yourself not being able to make it, try to force yourself to make the sound. Inhale. Exhale. Two more times. Inhale. Exhale. Relaxing your shoulders. Relaxing your back, your arms. Inhale. Exhale. And while we're here, I want you to imagine yourself sitting down in a beautiful grass field with flowers all around. The sun is out. The sun is shining brightly. You can feel the sun shining on your face. And just imagine that warmth from the sun filling your whole body. And I want you to think in your mind, if there was one question that you could ask the sun, what would it be? What would that question be? As you think of that question in your mind, I want you to intuit or feel what the sun's answer would be. And let's just sit with that for a moment. Whatever your question is, and whatever the answer is that you have intuited that has come from the sun, I want you to make whatever that is, whatever your inquiry was, your focus at this time of the summer solstice. Okay. Going to be your focus. And in a minute, I would like for us to share whatever your question was and the answer that you received. So continuing to breathe deeply, and while we're here, I'm going to play this sound bowl. And my prayer is that this sound bowl activates whatever part of you that needs to be activated at this time. And remember, because sometimes our thoughts can be on the negative side. I get so emotional. But I want y'all to remember that everything can be made new again. No matter what it is. Okay? So may this sound bowl activate whatever needs to be activated for you in your life right now. Now I want y'all to keep breathing deeply. Ashe. Ashe, ashe. So, coming out of that meditation, you can slowly open your eyes if you haven't already. Wriggle your fingers, wriggle your feet. Wake your body slowly back up. And so, now that I can see the comments, I would love for you all to share. What was your question in your meditation? And what was the answer you received? Let's see. If anybody would like to share, I would love that. And you can share in the comments. And I believe comments are still rolling over here. Hi, Venetia. So I can share while y'all are hopefully preparing to share. I will share. And this is something that I did actually years ago. Okay, awesome. I see questions rolling in and answers. So this was years ago, and I was at the beach, and I looked up to the sun, and I asked the sun, what was my purpose? I asked the sun, what was my purpose? And so that night I had a dream. And in the dream, I was basically in my favorite book, which is A Wrinkle in Time. I don't know if y'all have ever read that book or read or saw the movie, but in the dream, I was in the book. And if you know about the book, the little girl, the main character, she basically had to cross galaxies to go find her father, who was missing. Anyway, in the dream, I climbed this huge mountain. And I didn't see anyone, but a big voice boomed and basically told me that I was a leader of nations. And I had that dream probably, it's been about 15 years ago now. A leader of nations. I didn't understand it then, and I believe now I'm growing into more of an understanding of what that is and how that could be. So, peace, Veronica. So, Raquel, she asked the sun, is everything I'm trying to do in vain? Will it get any better? And of course the sun said yes, because it will. Most definitely it will. We're all going through a lot of different tests. And it's all about how we handle it. And our mindset. Because if we can fix our mindset, we can fix anything. Your whole world will change when you fix your mindset. So I'm glad that you asked that, Raquel, and I'm glad that you got that answer, because it will get better. It will. Michelle asked, when did you become the sun? Now that's an amazing question. I would love to hear the answer on that. Blue asked, how will the next 6 months be for me? And her answer was abundance. Ashe. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, Michelle says she's going to think more of a question. Yeah, but these are the questions that we can ask and we can receive the answers. Literally, we can ask our higher self and we will receive the answers. Now, the answers may not come, like somebody walking up to you and saying, hey, the answer to your question is blah, 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 blah. But we have to read between the lines of our daily lives, because spirit can intercede and interweb through all of our interactions. And I have an example of that as well. Yesterday, a man came in the store. Now, if y'all were to see this man, you would say, okay, this man, he's a little, off. He's kind of walking the street. He had a lot of necklaces on. He had ankhs on. He had all kind of stuff on. And so when he walked in, I didn't treat him strange. I have to respect everyone. But anyway, this man told me that he was Ra, the sun god. And now, a lot of our people are dealing with quote unquote mental illnesses. But a lot of times, these people are walking in between worlds. They're literally in between worlds. So this man told me that he was Ra. If some of y'all don't know who Ra is the Egyptian sun god. He came in here talking about Ra right at the summer solstice. And he was speaking a language. He was speaking a spirit language. He was in a tongue. And he told me, he said, everybody needs to get ready and everybody needs to get prepared. Everybody needs to come together. That's what he said. And so it's little things like that where if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. And if you judge a book by its cover, you just might miss it. So I took that as a literal message. So that's how spirit can show up. And it's very subtle. It's very subtle. Larissa asked, why are we here? And her answer was to live purposefully. That's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Ashe. All right. So to go into more about the summer solstice and why it is so just a magical time of year. It's basically the time of the year where our Earth's axis is tilted closest to the sun. So right now we can receive a lot, even though it's cloudy, even though it's very, very cloudy, and I feel like, I have my conspiracy mindedness. I feel like it's intentional, but that's besides the point. We can still harness the energy of this summer solstice. The sun, the light brings energy, it brings information, and that's why, and it brings vitamin D. We all know that. That's why it's important for us to be in the sun's rays, to be outside, to put our feet in the earth. This day is the longest day of the year. So the energy of the summer solstice is meant to fuel us, is meant to encourage us, and is meant to bring things to light that need to come into the light. If y'all understand what I mean. It's meant to bring forward the things that we need to bring forward. And see, a lot of people might say, oh, the summer solstice is pagan. It's, if you honor the summer solstice is witchcraft. Let me tell y'all, the definition of pagan, to my understanding, means of the country. So we're basically talking about people who lived off the land, who lived in the land. And that is something all of us, all people from all over the world at different times lived off of the land and honored the natural cycles of the earth and her cycles, and of our outer cycles, the galaxy, the Milky Way. We're in harmony with all of those things. So when I understood that pagan meant of the country, that gave me some different perspective, because so many practices have been demonized, and they're very natural. A lot of practices are very natural, and honoring the summer solstice is one of them. So we honor the summer solstice by having festivals, lighting a fire, being outside, putting our feet in the earth. And it's beautiful because, y'all being here is a representation of slowing down and taking that time to honor the cycles. And that's what the Sister Circle is for, is to take us out of the hustle and bustle of the day-to-day life and to slow down and to tune in to something other than, grinding, being on the hustle all the time. I gotta get this, I need more, I need more, I need more. That's the hustle. So this time of year is very, 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 very important and potent. I tried to combine those words just now. So if you have a candle, any kind of candle, whatever kind of candle you have, it could be white, it could be yellow, it could be orange, it could be red. Set some intentions out today. Set some intentions. What is it that you want? We want to call in the things that make us full of passion. Passion in a good way. Passion for living, passion for life, passion for creativity. That's what we want to focus on today. What are the things that bring us the most life? And the summer solstice can illuminate all of that. Michelle said she only has gratitude for the sun. Yes, definitely. Most definitely. Wealthy Rising, Tula. Hi, Christine. So yeah, the summer solstice it's a natural way of living. They tried to call it pagan. They tried to call it witchcraft. They call it everything but natural. You know what I mean? We see a lot of our white sisters that celebrate summer solstice. They also call it Litha, but it's nothing wrong with it. It's just as natural for us as it is for anybody else, and that's how I've always felt about it. You know, but we're not taught these things as we're growing up. Right? We're not taught these things, so we're learning it now as adults. It's time to go outside, it's time to dance, it's time to be happy, and to really focus on all the things that we want and not being worried all the time. Not being worried, not being stressed, to really have some freedom. Right? So tonight, and even when it gets close, any time of day is fine, but definitely at sunset, we honor the sun. Like Michelle said, we thank the sun for all the life-giving that it gives us, all the illumination that it gives us. It's very, very sustaining. Without the sun, we wouldn't be here. Without the sun, we would not be here. So, and also at sunset, we want to acknowledge how far we've come this year. Look at how far you've come this year. Look at what you were going through at the beginning of the year that you're not going through now. You know, that's important. You have grown. We all have grown this year. And then you can look at some of the things that you may still be, you know, going through that you were going through at the end of the year. And then you set your intentions for how you want to move forward out of that. So I'm so glad that we have come together on this day, you know, as a sisterhood to honor the earth cycles, because the earth honors us. And when we honor the earth, I feel like the earth is going to honor us back, even though she doesn't have to do anything to do that, because she sustains us. The earth and the sun sustain us. And just with that, look at how abundant we are. You know, and it's not easy to live in the United States, but we're doing okay. You know, we're doing okay. It definitely can always be better, but we're not going through a lot of things that some other of our brothers and sisters are going through across the world. So for that, we give gratitude as well. You know, we give gratitude for being born or being at where we're at right now. Even though we may be trying to move forward, we might be trying to move, you know, all of that, but we are still blessed to be right where we are right now. And I'm surely blessed to be in y'all's company, even if it is virtually. And so that is the beauty and the wonder of the summer solstice. A beautiful time of year. It's a sister and Casey, they're doing something for the summer solstice tonight, and I'm gonna post the location and all of that in the group. We need to be outside, dancing, happy and free, and also setting intentions and working on our intuition always. And the candle gazing, the fire gazing is a very potent practice. It's so simple. But you start doing that every night before you go to sleep and see what happens. Okay? So, does anybody have any questions or anything they want to share about the summer solstice? And how are y'all feeling just in general? I really want to know before we move on. So I wanted to share with you all about the red tent and what the red tent is. So I'm going to check the comments. You can have your incense going. I'm going to light some sage for us. I don't see any questions about the summer solstice. But yes, the longest day of the year. Lanisha says she's just feeling grateful. I feel you. I feel you. We are definitely blessed. You know, and there are many parts of the world where women cannot gather together. It is literally illegal for women to gather together. And you know why it's illegal? Because for one, where those women are, it's a patriarchal rule. But it's power when we come together. It's so much power and so much wisdom when women come together. And see, when we come together, our bodies will start to sync up. And that's nothing that we have to focus on doing. The technology of woman does that on its own. And it's because we're powerful. We're more powerful when we're together. We're more free when we're together. We're not as stressed out when we're together either, because we, you know, women who are on a similar frequency, they help each other just naturally. Come on, girl, I got you. Let me help you. That's what we're supposed to do. The cattiness and fighting and, you know, jealousy and all that stuff, that's not the frequency of divine feminine. That's not the frequency of the new earth. You know, and those feelings, they might come up because they're pre-programmed. You know, our mothers and grandmothers went through these things, you know, at different times. But just because the feeling and a thought might come up doesn't mean we act on them. And that's the whole part about being a goddess. Being a goddess is not saying, oh, I'm better than you. Being a goddess is being in control of your own energy. Controlling your reality. That's a goddess. Knowing when she's right or knowing when she's wrong. And correcting herself. That's a goddess. Speaking up for herself. That's a goddess. You know, so that's what we're walking into. We're walking into controlling our thoughts, controlling our minds, our bodies, setting up boundaries, commanding respect, not in an egotistical way, but just in a way of knowing. That is a goddess. And so as we continue, we will learn and develop more practices that will help us tap into that energy. And even in our goddesshood, we still acknowledge and always acknowledge the divine masculine, which is represented by the sun, and the divine masculine within us that need to take action to have order. You know, they say it's masculine properties, but I feel it's feminine too. Order would have to be feminine as well. But we're walking down this middle path. We're unifying these principles within ourselves. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the comments. Lawanda says she's always loved the sun. Tula said she's feeling sexy. Awesome. She said she's been spiritually preparing for this and didn't know. Yeah, that's how it is. When you just naturally in your zone. You already ready and didn't know you were getting ready. That's it right there. Tati said Ashe, Ashe. Kenyatta said Ashe. Tula said she lit candles all weekend. She set intentions. But she's been feeling loved and supported. That's beautiful. Ashe. Ashe, y'all. Yeah. Yeah, so we're doing what we have to do. We're getting rid of the things that we need to get rid of, whether it's people, places, things, attitudes, all of that. Because, like I said in the beginning, everything can be made brand new again, no matter what you've been through, no matter what it looks like right now. Everything can be made brand new again, and it starts with our mindset. So we do these things, we do these rituals and these practices to have a mind shift, as well. Because when we start the ceremony and the ritual affects a change internally as well. And see, when the change happens internally, it's reflected in the physical. So we have to do our work on the internal side. We have to sit with ourselves and be like, okay, what can I be doing better? You know, how can I raise my frequency? How can I change how I speak? How can I change how I show up in the world? You know, and for some reason, what's popping up into my mind right now is that sister Sukiana. I'm sure y'all have heard of her. It was something going on this week where this man, I guess he kissed her out of nowhere. She was hurt and she was all whatever she was feeling. She was feeling, I guess, disrespected. But everything goes back to how we show up in the world. And see, as Divine Feminine, we show up a certain way. If you want to be respected, you give respect. You know, and I feel like it goes back to order. We have to have ourselves in order. Now, Miss Sukiana, she's way more free with her energy. She's like, but she's also just completely in her root chakra. Like, that's all I see, for the most part anyway. So when we're operating out of certain energy centers, and if you have a basic understanding of the chakras, then you'll know where you're operating out of, where you're operating mostly out of. Because you'll know it by the things you say, the things you're thinking, and the things that you do. So we're checking all those things right now. If you want to receive a certain kind of energy, you have to operate in that energy first. If you want to receive more clarity, you'll be quiet more. You'll be introspective. You'll turn off the distractions so you can get what you need to get, and it comes from the internal. It comes from the inside. So yes, I can go on and on about that, but I really wanted to talk about the red tint, because the red tint is something that is it's a beautiful ancient practice, and it's something that it's not forgotten, but it's not it's not known like it used to be. And the red tint is basically, it was a time where women would come together during their menstrual cycles. They would be all in the same place, whether it was, I envision it as like almost like a sweat lodge. They would all come together and they would bleed together. And a lot of times they would bleed into the earth. Just naturally bleed into earth, and they would release all of that into the earth. They would come together unto the red tent and tell stories, share experiences. They would get fuel because they have taken the time out of their normal day-to-day, working, taking care of children and family, to go with their sisters and release and charge up. That is the basic overall premise of the red tent. So in the red tent, we shared those things that only could be shared with another sister. And these red tents were all over the world in ancient times, in Egypt, different parts of Asia, all over the motherland. It was natural. It was for healing. It was for empowerment. And I can just imagine how powerful it really, really was. Because see, we don't do that during our menstrual cycles now. We still going to the gym. I don't, but sisters are still going to the gym. They're still going hard during their menstrual cycles, and that's not how it's supposed to be. Because a woman is most potent and most powerful during her menstrual cycle. The dreams that you have during your menstrual cycle, and during those times, the men depended on the women going into the red tent. Because when they went into the red tent, it's almost like a trance type of effect. The women would go into trance, and they would know what the whole community needed to do, whether they needed to stay where they were, whether they needed to move, was there a drought coming, were the animals gonna get sick, all of that, because the power would just be there. It was almost like a vision quest. When your menstrual cycle comes on, it's like almost like a vision quest. That first day when you bleed, you set an intention. You set an intention for what you want to release and also what you need to receive. Every time you feel the blood flowing out of you, you set the intention for what you're releasing. I'm releasing doubt. I'm releasing fear. I'm releasing self-consciousness. I'm releasing hate for whoever. I'm releasing self-hate or whatever it could be. You release it in your blood and let it flow out of you. And it's kind of a taboo topic. A lot of people don't like to talk about their menstrual time because a lot of us don't even enjoy our menstrual cycle because it's so painful. How many of y'all are dealing with pain during your menstrual cycle? Let me check the comments. Hi, Najwa. Good to see you here. Michelle, have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for being here. We love you too. I'm wondering who all has pain during their menstrual cycles. Cherie, she says me, even though I don't have any. What do you mean, Cherie? Larissa has pain. Tula said her back is backing right now. So your cycle is on, Tula? Y'all, that pain, you know, it's definitely layers to everything, and especially our menstrual cycle. But one thing is, we know if you're having extreme pain during your menstrual cycle, it's some things you need to handle with your diet. Number one, the dairy is highly affecting you. Dairy, sugar, all those things affect us on a lot of different ways. A lot of times we can be dehydrated, and it's causing pain. And another thing is, it means that you need to slow down more. You have to turn your awareness inside of yourself more. Make your bleeding time a sacred spiritual time for yourself, where you're journaling, you're slowing down, you're drinking your red raspberry leaf tea or your nettle tea to give yourself that nourishment back into your body and your blood. And you're resting. My beautiful sister Yasmin told me the other week, she said, the way that you take care of yourself during your menstrual cycle is going to affect your entire month ahead. Because the first day of your menstrual cycle is like the first day of your month. It's the first day of your whole cycle as a whole. The menstrual cycle is not the only cycle. It's just the beginning of the bleeding time. But you still have a whole cycle that plays out after you stop bleeding. So how you take care of yourself during that time is going to reflect in your entire month. If you take that time and slow down and nourish yourself during your menstrual, the rest of your month is going to be so much lighter and you'll have more energy. But if you go hard during your menstrual cycle like you're not bleeding, you're just draining yourself even more. Because women, a lot of us are bleeding too much. We're not supposed to have these heavy cycles. And if there are sisters here that are dealing with really heavy menstrual cycles or any fibroids or any cysts or anything like that, let me know. I have a beautiful resource for you. Tula said her pain isn't as bad as it used to be. That's awesome. Cherie says she still have the symptoms. You took a shot to not have a cycle? Now, I haven't heard of that. I would love to learn more about that. But yes, the red tent is that sacred space where women come together to share their wisdom during their menstrual time. So we're gonna have that. We are physically going to have a red tent, and we're gonna start probably doing that at least 3 or 4 times a year, because it's very, very important. And see, we can start, and when our daughters get of age, they can start coming to the red tent. The woman's wisdom is necessary. And us slowing down to tap into that wisdom is imperative for ourselves and for this world. And if we're too busy to sit down and tap into our own wisdom, then we all suffer. And I really feel like the system, I know that the system itself benefits off women not being tapped into her own power. And that power is in the menstrual cycle. It's in the blood. It's not something to be ignored. And it's not something to be angry about or just be like, dang, I wish I didn't bleed no more. And I've heard the story that we were basically cursed to bleed. I don't believe that. Because that menstrual blood is connected to all of our ancestresses. All of them. All of our mothers. When you sit there and think about how many women in your lineage have bled before you, think about all that power. And think about how blessed we are now that we can take a day, or even if it is a few hours out of a day, to sit and nourish ourselves, when a lot of our mothers had no way, absolutely no way to do that. We have way more quote-unquote luxury. And the luxury now is with the time. We have the choice now. We can choose what we can do with our time. A lot of our mothers didn't have that choice. They didn't have a choice. My mom, I could go on and on. My mama, first of all, I was premature. And I think this is one of the reasons why I wanted to be a doula. I was premature. My mom had a horrible labor with me. They used the forceps to pull me out of my mama. Can you think about the pain that she was in? Then she had no time basically to rest after I was born. She was right back in college like 3 weeks later, and she was hurt. I'm talking about sitting on pillows, bleeding heavy, in school, hustling, grinding, and had a little newborn baby to take care of. You know what I mean? So we can make different choices now. We can make the choice to love on ourselves more now, and our children will benefit from it. Even if you don't have any children now, even if you don't want to have children, your inner child, that woman that you're gonna be when you become a crone age, that wise old woman is gonna appreciate the time that you poured into your own self. So that is the concept of the red tent. When your cycle comes on, actually it's a veil. There is a veil, and you can almost, if you slow down enough, you will feel when your cycle is about to come. And I'm not talking about based on the pain, and I'm not talking about based on the PMS and all that. Okay, I'm talking about just it's a total energy shift and an awareness shift that'll take place anywhere from 3 to 1 day before your cycle comes on. And when you feel it, you just feel it, and you'll tell yourself, yes, I'm in the red tent. I'm in the red tent now. So automatically you start getting your tea ready, getting your journals out, fluffing up your covers. You might put up some red curtains or put some red sheets on your bed. Figure out a way to stop using the always and those regular pads that we find in like Family Dollar and Walmart, and at the very least, go to the health food store and get you some pads that are non-toxic, that have no bleach in them. Your womb, your yoni will thank you. No bleach, no toxic menstrual products, period products. And also they have something called period underwear. If y'all haven't heard of that yet, that might be something you might like, because you can just put those period underwear on and you don't have to worry about a pad because the underwear will soak it up. So it just depends, find your style. But we're getting back to more natural ways, even in this modern world. And it's amazing because we get to incorporate this ancient wisdom we're incorporating it with the new technology. So we're in a beautiful time. We're in a beautiful, beautiful time. Let me go back and check these comments. Hi, Jalisha. How you doing? Oh, the Depo shot. Oh my goodness. Oh, I was on depot years ago. I'm so glad I got off of there. We have to transition off the birth control too, because it's causing us more harm than it is good. And see, when you come into a natural awareness and you begin tracking your cycle, tracking your energy levels, tracking all that, you'll just be operating on a whole nother level. You won't be dependent on anything outside of yourself to control your circumstances, to even control your pregnancy. Whether or not you're getting pregnant, because we have the power to control all of that without the birth control. But it's all about starting with being in tune with your menstrual cycle, with your feminine cycle. Now, so yeah, I can go on and on about that. If you have particular questions, inbox me. All right. Let's see. Larissa says she has super heavy cycles. Yes, we need to talk. And we need to make sure, Larissa, that your iron is not too low, because that could be a part of it. Blue says hers lasts 4 days and light bleeding. That's really good. The goal for all of us is to be at 3 days or less. The less dairy and the less heavy meat that we do will shorten our cycle times. So our whole goal is to be eating a lot of plant-based food. I'm not saying vegan. If vegan is not for everybody, but a lot of plant-based food. A lot of greens, and some meats. If you eat meat, because we all need protein, and it's true, we get protein from vegetables too, but a lot of us need a little bit more than that. So it just depends on what's best for your body. I encourage all of us, if we haven't been to the doctor yet, to check your iron levels, check all your levels, check the functioning of your organs, and check our hormone levels. LaWanda says her perspective has changed. She said she thought it was more to her cycle than what she's been told. She doesn't believe they have the wisdom. It's true. And see, they use the depot on you with your daughter. Yeah. And that's why we come together as wisdom, because we do come together as wisdom. The divine feminine is the embodiment of wisdom. We are wisdom, and we're gaining our wisdom back on a day to day, every day we're gaining back more wisdom. Tati says, are there any negative spiritual effects from hormonal birth control? Tati says she's on the pill and she has regular periods, but she knows she should stop taking it. Yeah, Tati. It's in a general sense, Tati, I will say that birth control changes us on a like a cellular level. It changes your output. And I can't remember the word. I'm trying to remember the word. It's pheromones. It changes how your pheromones operate. So in your natural state, your pheromones will be at a particular frequency. But because you're on the birth control pill, your pheromones are at, where they're at. So our pheromones, in part, are responsible for sending out signals, and they attract to us. They attract masculine to us. So if you're on birth control, you're sending out improper pheromone signals, and that could possibly have you choosing a mate that is not compatible to you. because you're not in your natural, raw, feminine form. Does that make sense? I know that's kind of a lot to hear, but it is true. It is true. And I'm going to say it in a general sense because, of course, I'm not a doctor. You all speak to your doctor when you want to make, or your holistic health coach if you are trying to make some serious changes. But it would be wise to, at this day and time, to do your best to come off of the birth control. Now, it is side effects. I know when I came off of Depo, and I was a young girl, probably, I don't know, maybe like 18 or something like that. I gained a lot of weight. I came off of Depo, and I think my cycle stayed on for 3 months straight. So can you imagine the implications and the effects on your body, the amount of blood loss? So yes, it's many layers to it, but this is a good time to begin at least the conversation and the research and the study to see what your options are, because birth control is not the only option. The number one thing we can do as women to prevent pregnancy is besides tracking our cycle, there are herbs for that. There are herbs that will help prevent pregnancy. There's a lot of different things. So yes, Sunkiss, peace and divine rising. Peace, sis, my aunt. Sunkiss says she was just telling her boyfriend that because it isn't good for the body, especially black women, most definitely. Keisha says she has always had very heavy cycles with extreme pain. Yes, a lot of us deal with that. Okay, Keisha, you say you're anemic. What are you taking for your anemia? LaWanda said the forceps. Yeah, the forceps. That was back in the day. They used the forceps to pull me out of my mama. And see, my mama, her cycles were really, really bad. I'm talking about bad. She couldn't even go to work. Her cycles were so bad. And she had a hysterectomy, which we do not have to have a hysterectomy. Can you imagine what they doing to all of those black women wombs? Can y'all imagine all the black women that are actually having their wombs taken out? Do you know what those people do with those? The placentas that we give away for free at birth, they selling those for at least $5,000 for one placenta. I don't know if I have any pregnant mamas in here. Don't let those people take your placenta. That placenta is yours and your baby's, not the hospital. Because trust me, they selling those placentas and making all kind of medicine out of them. Sunkiss said, any suggestions for irregular cycles? It might be different for you. I know, Sunkiss, because you just had a baby. But being out in the moon will help you sync your cycles. Being outside during the new moon and being outside with the full moon is an amazing way to start syncing up your cycle. Because we have to start getting into more natural light, y'all. The fluorescent light, all of that, the light from the phone and the computers, all of that is affecting us on a cellular level. So getting into more natural light is one. Being outside and honoring the cycles of the moon, and also switching up your diet and making sure you're not anemic, because I'm telling you, most of us are very anemic. And I actually have in the shop, we have a herbal tonic. It's called Iron Like a Lion, and it's for anemia. Tati said, yes, that makes sense. Miss Ronnie says she's on depot because she's done birth. I'm done birthing too, but not on the depot. Depot is harsh, and you know that it messes with our emotions too. A lot of women report depression being on birth control. So there are ways around it. And Keisha's not taking nothing for Keisha. You gotta get something. No. Let me tell you something. I've heard 2 stories this week. 2 stories of women whose iron was so low they had to be their vision got blurry, their eyesight got bad, they fainted, they had to go to the hospital and get blood transfusions. The iron for everybody, but especially black women, is crucial to every process in the body. And I have low iron. I was always low iron in my pregnancies, and I had to take things, especially with my last 2 births, because I had my babies at home, and the midwife was like, "Oh no, you can't have your baby at home if your iron is that low. There's no way you can do that." So yeah, Keisha, I have something for that, and it will help you. Take it every day, and it's herbs. It's a liquid herbal tonic. LaWanda said, the next time I have a baby, I'm going to tell them I need that placenta before I leave. Most definitely. Yeah, I do that as well. I make placenta capsules out of the placenta. Because we take the placenta back in after we have our babies, and it gives us our energy levels back. You know, some women don't take their placentas back in to the body. Some women just take their placentas and take it home and bury it with a flower, you know, or a plant in their yard, which is equally as beautiful, and it honors you and the baby as well. And then I know I'm going on and on, but in a lot of cultures, the placenta is considered the first mother. So that is it's a valuable part of our body, and we can't give it away anymore. It should be illegal for those hospitals to keep it. But see, we give it away because we don't know. We just don't know. So this is all about, you know, this is the red tent. This is what we do in the red tent. We share sacred feminine wisdom with each other. This information is not mainstream information. A lot of us don't know some of these things because we weren't taught, because our mamas didn't know. Our mamas was too busy working, trying to take care of us. So I'm blessed now to be in a position, you know, like I said, my mom's cycles were very heavy. She ended up having a hysterectomy. My grandmother had a hysterectomy. But guess what? I'm not having a hysterectomy. You know, most high forbid. But right now I don't have any issues where I would need to remove the womb. And even if you have had your womb removed, the energetic signature is still there. So it's nothing to be ashamed about if you have had your womb removed. That's nothing to be ashamed about, because we're only doing the best with what we know at the time. So, yeah. Ronnie says she was extremely depressed the first 2 weeks. Yeah. My aunt said she used the yoni pearls once every 3 months. That helped when she used to have a cycle. Okay, yep, the yoni pearls. I haven't used those yet. I'm surprised I haven't. But they work. I've heard a lot of good things about yoni pearls. LaWanda said, what are your thoughts about having babies in your late 30s, early 40s? It can be done. It most definitely can be done. You just have to prep your body and keep living a healthy lifestyle. But hey, it can be done. And it can be done all naturally. I feel like, a lot of women are having like the insemination and all that stuff done in their 40s, but I don't think we have to do that. What's important is just taking care of yourself in the meantime and nourishing yourself and making sure your energy levels are where they're supposed to be. So I keep putting too much on this charcoal. I wanted to share a resource for those of us who are in Columbia, South Carolina. There's a place called South Carolina Integrative Medicine, and it's over there off of Bush River Road. The doctor there is she's amazing. I would say that she made me feel very welcome when I went there. So that's a good place to go. You know, if you want to, you know, get your blood drawn and check your organ functions and check your hormones. And South Carolina Integrative Medicine is basically, they do take insurance, but you do have to be on a membership, and it's like $30 a month. So it's not bad. Oh, Tati said her mom had her at 39. See? Look at that. 39. That's the age I am now. I'm not having any more babies. Nope. I'm not having any, but I bless every sister who is planning on having a baby. I would love to be y'all's doula. I'm here. And let's do this, you know, as good as we can do it. You know, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. Learning what we need to learn and implementing the changes that we need to make so that we can have a more natural, holistic way of being to the best of our ability. You know, we're only basically as good as the information that we have in the company that we keep, right? So we're elevating all that now at this time of the summer solstice. You know, we just had the new moon last week. It's a lot of things going on. The Schumann resonance, which is basically like it's like the energy of the earth is like off the charts right now. The Schumann resonance is doing things that it has never done before. And that means there's new energy coming in. There's new energy coming in. So we will really benefit from being outside, grounding, touching trees, taking our spiritual baths and showers, and being in good company. Because when we get together, not only do our wombs start to link up, and that's how you know, and that's when you know that, you know how women, when they live together for a certain amount of time, their cycles start coming on at the same time. That's a real phenomenon. It's called cycle syncing. You know, we do that at a cellular level, but not only do our wombs sync up, our brains sync up when we're together. They sync, they link, and they sync. And we start resonating with each other's brain waves. So that's why the company you keep is everything. If y'all got people around you that you even have to question a little bit, just get rid of them. They're taking up space. It's that time. It's that time. Sincere said, I didn't know you were a doula. Yeah, I've been a doula. I've been a doula for a minute, since 2016. Since 2016. I would love to be a doula, LaWanda. Hi, it's Azola. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of y'all who have tuned in today. This has been absolutely beautiful. It's been absolutely beautiful. I meant to, I'm trying to remember, make sure I said everything I needed to say. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. Right now, and for the next few weeks, I'm doing some free coaching calls. I really want to talk to you all, and, you know, on a one-to-one basis. And just see what we need to come up with. If you have any questions about your spiritual journey, about your divine feminine journey, I'm here. I'm going to post a link for you can schedule like a free coaching call. And I'm also inviting all of y'all to basically come with me on a journey, an intensive journey, a 6-month journey. And this will be a mentoring, coaching relationship between you and I, where we will basically work together in taking you to the next level. So if that's something that you're looking for or something you think you may need, you're more than welcome to DM me, or you can comment on this video, #support. So yes, this has been absolutely beautiful. I definitely went over time, but the red tint is, it's just us. It's us. It's women on in our mystical nature. We're naturally mystical. You know, we're naturally mystical. So we're learning to tap back into that energy. We're learning to tap back into that, and we can do that together. And that's what I want to incorporate even into our sister circles. More meditation, more chanting, more singing, more dancing, because those practices get us out of our mind and into our body. And that's how we manifest. You know, because a lot of times we overthink. We're overthinking. We're overthinking and we're over worrying, and we're talking too much. Talking way too much. So these practices will help us get quiet, and they will help us tap into our wisdom on a whole nother level. So yes, if you're interested in learning more, let me know, DM me, and let me see if I can post that link right now. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do what I just did. So I'm going to go back and post it on the video. And we'll go from there. But if there is any other questions, please put them in the chat. I would love to answer them. I want to know what you think about the information I shared about the summer solstice and the red tint and everything else we talked about. But yeah, my aunt said solfeggio meditation. Yes, that's what I'm listening to now. I think this is 888 Hertz on YouTube. Because, of course, the music that we listen to influences us on a cellular level. It can raise our vibration, or it can take that vibration down into the gutter. And so we don't live down there. So everything we're doing is to raise our frequency. And when I say frequency, I mean our energy. And it helps us to tap into our intuition, our all-knowingness, because we all have that ability. It's just about tapping into it. So I don't see any questions in the chat. But this was a beautiful, beautiful session. Y'all let me know what else, what else do we need to talk about in future videos? You can comment that as well. And I want us to get ready to close out. Thank y'all again for being here. So let's take a few more deep breaths, close our eyes. We have to integrate all this information we got today. Close our eyes. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Ashe, y'all have a beautiful day. Thank you.